Hey guys, so I would like to tell you um, an Eminem quote. Yep, okay. Every day is a holiday. That's an Eminem quote from Just Lose It, which is interesting because Just Lose It was the best song you've ever seen. When it came out, my friend told me about it, and like he was like fucking. I was probably, wait, when did it come out? Let's see, 2004. So we would have been about 14, uh, whenever it came out. Now here's the thing: before everyone, and including me, or a lot before a lot of people anyway, sort of bagged on that song and said that song's bullshit. Whatever. It was amazing. The first time you heard that song was amazing, and I remember my friend saying like, "Hey, dude, like." I was like, "What's? Oh, there's a new Eminem song. What's it like?" And he's like, "It's like he does 8 Mile. It's like he does his whole career or something." And man, like, I'll say his name actually, Kenny. Thank you for that. That's a rare fucking name drop you'll get here. But thank you, Kenny, man. You were a true friend. You are a true friend. Wherever you may be from wherever I may be. You are a true friend, dude. And I am. I have not always been. Okay, yeah. Hold on. Holiday. Okay, here we go. Well, it's Friday, and it's my day, just to party all the way till Sunday, maybe till Monday, I don't know what day. Every day is just a holiday. That Eminem. That's what we're looking at here. This is a holiday. Today's a holiday, but tomorrow's a holiday. Every day is a holiday. I say at the end of my book, Spirituality Period, which is available on mattthoughts.com, I say something like every day. I'd say basically it's Christmas morning. It's not even just Christmas, it's Christmas morning. That's today. That's every day. And especially today, because I don't, or you could say especially because I don't have work today. And you could also say especially because today is a day where I get to use the Sedona method a lot. And I am looking forward to it because it's funny. The guy who teaches the Sedona method, and I was just kind of thinking about this more recently, but he said, like, because I've listened to the Sedona method CD course, I've listened to those fucking tapes. I think either on tape or on like my current setup where I've had them on like a flash drive for like fucking 3 or 4 years. I've listened to those things for prop or like on MP3 or whatever. I've listened to the Sedona Method course, like the 10 disc set minus whatever, like what I do have a couple of the bonus discs, but mostly the regular ones. I've listened more or less to that whole fucking thing, or a lot of it, like probably like 80 fucking times, man, or something like. It's amazing, and it's like every time I listen to it now, it's like I sort of listen to hear how Hale sounds because sometimes like sometimes it sort of reflects how I'm feeling. It seems like Hale will sound like farther away, or he'll sound like warmer, or he'll sound like a little more harried. Like it gets kind of, it's like Matt McKinley says on Quantum of Conscience on YouTube. Reality isn't very real. It's like, oh my goodness. And yeah, that's the Sedona method, man. The Sedona method is, I think, in the Buddha at the gas pump interview where I originally heard about it, and thank fucking God I discovered the Sedona method. But it probably sounds like a fucking cult now. It's literally not. It's literally just asking yourself, like, how do you feel about something, and then could you let that go? That's it. Well, they do have some other things where it's like more like self-inquiry, like who am I and stuff, but essentially like it's kind of basic emotional releasing questions, and they are so fucking powerful. And oh my god, man. But Hale said that like in the tapes he was like, well, my wife, and I've probably listened to him say this like 80 fucking times, but I love it every time. It's great. He's like, well, Frank, he's like, well, I did this particular Sedona method exercise on my wife, like when I first met her, like, something like, frankly, she was interested in other men at the time, and I had to do a lot of releasing for her to pick me. And it's like, oh shit, dude, like there you fucking go, man. Like he literally. He's literally like, yeah, I use the Sedona method to like fucking get my wife, who seemed to be interested in other people. But here's the thing: every day is a holiday, and also the Sedona method is. It's essentially just asking, like, self-inquiry questions about whatever. Like, you could ask them about anything, and then like releasing or whatever with emotions. More or less, that's kind of what it is. And oh my god, man! So I get to do that today. And then I get to see how good work is on Monday, tomorrow. Because here's the thing: I had a tough day today, or not today. Well, I guess yesterday. Yesterday now. I had a tough day. At first I thought it was going really well, and it was kind of an experimental day because like it was like this. I think this maybe second or third full, maybe the third full day that I had done all the practices, which is 3 breathing sessions, 2 Vipassana sessions, 4 middle pillars, plus like letting go and connected breathing as well. It might have been the first day that I had done all of those. Or no, not the first day, actually, like the third day. Because I think Thursday was the first day, I think. If not Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. So it might have been the 4th day that I did, like, all those. And actually, Tuesday, I think I did most of them. Whoa, wait a second. God, Tuesday feels like it was a long time ago, but... You know what? I think I guess it was kind of it was like almost a week ago now. That's strange to say. It's Sunday. It's like, yeah, Tuesday was almost a week ago. That's like that feels to me actually like I was very, it's just a fucking symptom of the society. It's like anytime someone is like, sort of like in grief over a relationship, just someone who they really loved, like just leaving them, or actually technically I ended up leaving her, but it ultimately it felt like she left me. In any case, not to get too much into it, and I won't truly. You can check my fucking progress. I say no names. I play no games. Ever since I broke with what's her face, I'm a different man. Cause my that's Eminem, Superman actually. Yeah, we got Eminem quotes all day. But yeah, so every day's a holiday because you know what? Because you do not have to do anything, and there's letting go is the only way. If there is a way, basically, if you're not where you'd like to be already, letting go is the only way. If you're where you like to be, then great. If you're not, you could you could get there sort of okay through like drugs and stuff, but ultimately like letting go is actually, you know what? I'm saying way as in like a big way, or a sort of essentially like sort of a spiritual metaphysics or something. And the way I look at it, you are okay. And if you're okay, then basically the only thing is you're maybe carrying around distortion. You have different attachments. You have different false conceptions of stuff. And so there's a lot of letting go. And it may sound like, well, what, Matt? You're just gonna fucking, empty your head. It's like, does my head sound empty, motherfucker? Like, give me my word per minute score now. Oh God, yeah, that. But at the same time, you know what? Like maybe empty would be a good thing actually. Like Michael Scott has a funny thing, and by the way, what a beautiful fucking show The Office is. Michael is just one of the most emotionally rich and to me relatable characters of all time. But Michael Scott says something about like, he's like, well, you know what they say. I don't know. What does he say? Like, happy wife, happy life. And then he's like, empty desk, empty mind. And then Jim's like, and by the way, don't discount John Krasinski. He is both emotionally and comically excellent in The Office. I don't know if I'd say outstanding. Michael Scott is outstanding. Steve Carell emotionally is outstanding, and comically he is excellent Well, comically, he's good to outstanding in the Tony Robbins scale, I would say. Jim is emotionally excellent, usually, and comically excellent, if not outstanding. And you know what? Like Jim, in fact, don't discount John Krasinski at all. Jim's great in that show. But Michael Scott is just basically he's like Walter White, except like add in a whole fucking layer of comedy and all this like sadness. Steve Carell's great in that show. He's like legitimately, and it's literally he literally became a movie star. It's legitimately a show where a movie star is doing his best work. That's what it is, and it was on fucking network TV. Steve Carell, the movie star, was doing his best work for like 6 years on network TV, 7 years, and it's like a movie star doing the greatest work of his career for 7 seasons straight. That's what The Office is, or 6 or whatever. Anyway, Steve Carell says, "Empty desk, empty mind." It's like, you know what? If you let go a lot of your preconceptions, especially, of course, it may sound circular, but your false preconceptions, well, it not circular necessarily. It may sound more like a truism. Like if you let go of a lot of your false preconceptions, but that's what I'm actually saying. If you let go of a lot of your false preconceptions, then you will be so much better off. And if you let go of like, you know, really like heavy fucking emotional trauma that you've been holding on to, all the better. I love this game. You know why? Partially because it's the music. It's so unobtrusive that it's like you could just talk for hours. All right, let's go get attacked by this zombie. Hopefully not. Now, he got me on the first time recently, but usually he lets you... I think he was wise to my game. Usually he lets you go. Let's see. Okay, yep. And now, unfortunately, he is in the wrong position. Sorry, zombie. It's you or me, dude. Or at least it's a little health for me. And I'm probably gonna take you out anyway. Wait, hold on. Okay. Oh shit. Don't get away from me, you fucking jerk. Nope. It's like trying to lead a cat around the room, which I've done many a time. Trying to lead a cat around the room, it's like he'll go sometimes. Like, you know, you may have some influence, but it may be a foolish expectation. Okay. Are you telling me that we've already been here, you bastard? Wait, do we have the map too? Did I not take the map but I came in here? What a fucking jerk. What a jerk. No, I took the map too, okay. In that case, really I didn't see that the map was gone. Okay, this is still locked, right? What do we need? Sword key. But yeah, every day's a holiday, man. Every day is a vacation. If you let it be. If you let it be. Oh, my knee hurts too. I think that's some deep oh yeah, is that deep emotional pain? Yeah, I've been having, and I think actually it's partially from running, because here's the thing, as Tony Robbins says, you know, part of your state, like essentially how you're feeling, is your physiology. It's your I could show you a little thing I drew, but it's the triad. It's your physiology, it's the language, and focus. And so essentially I think it's what you're focusing on mentally, kind of how you're conceptualizing it or what you're saying about it, which is different from the images themselves maybe. But then also, and you know, don't discount the power of the images. Look into NLP, which Tony Robbins has done a little bit for that. But beyond that, also your physiology, which is essentially your body. And so what I would say, and what I've found, and I think I have on this channel, if I post this on American Noble, I think I have a fear is tension or something is one of the first videos. Yeah, I think essentially like almost anything you're feeling that feels uncomfortable, like almost any, and I could fucking, I could tell myself this. In fact, it'd be nice if I could just pop out of a vortex and tell myself like, hey Matt, like next time I'm feeling like I'm in the car and I'm like, oh my god, like I'm, all right, I wish I could pop out and say, Matt, any fear or any negative feeling that you're feeling is just essentially physical tension or something like that. Like, because if it is that way, I'm maybe there's some differences, but if it is mostly about that, you could look at it in a very empowering way and see that, you know what? Literally, it's about relaxation, but it's not about relaxation in the fucking condescending way people say, where they're like, just shut up, don't say anything inconvenient, relax, man. No, it's about relaxation in the sense of actually letting go of tension, actual physical tension. Oh, and if you can let go of that, then you're on your way. Lester Levinson used to say, he's like, it would take 3 months of letting go. He's the original Sedona Method founder. But, basically after he passed, Hale Dwoskin, it seemed Hale has at least been sort of the figurehead, but it seems like Hale, like maybe he's done a shitload. Like, I don't know, but like for example, the Sedona Method book, the original, is written by Hale Dwoskin, and he's great. He's so good. He said he was in like in some interview or something. I remember him saying like he was in sort of a, I think he like presented it as like, I was in it might have been the Buddha at the Gas Pump interview. Maybe something else. I think he said that he was in a private meditation group in India where like nearby there was a guy that was known to like literally walk on water. And you may like poo-poo that, but it's like, dude, like until you've looked into how powerful spirituality can be, like you might just have no idea. So, Hale's a fucking legit dude, but Lester Levinson, he said like, basically, I think he said that it should take about 3 months. If you're releasing, like, he's like, you've got the method. He's like, I've given you the tools, and if you're releasing on that, it should take about 3 months, and you'll go free. He says something like, you'll go free in 3 months. I've listened to a decent amount of his talks. I also have Happiness is Free and It's Easier Than You Think, which is just a fucking treasure. Basically on par with the Sedona Method, and I include it in my wisdom books with the Sedona Method, the 5 current ones. It's a treasure. It's Lester Levinson and then Hale Dwoskin swooping in with really practical. Not that Lester isn't practical, but Hale swooping in with the sort of the nuts and bolts kind of releasing, and it's just perfect. And yeah, man, I mean, the Sedona Method, and if you fucking watch it, if you watch some of that stuff, and I'm probably doing an infomercial right now, but if you watch like some of those videos, basically like you'll see like Hale, he's a chilling guy, but like he gets a little intense sometimes. It is kind of funny. Like it's like Tony Robbins said of the Dr. J or whatever famous basketball player, and he's like, well, Dr. J was a cool dude, but he also got a little intense. And it's like, yeah, to Hale, he's chilling. He's chilling. But like maybe at the beginning of a stream or something, you'll see him blinking a little more, or like, maybe like in one or two of the, maybe in a seminar you see on YouTube, like Hale he's kind of not harsh, but he's definitely a little firm with like the people in the back of the room running the tech stuff, tech support. Hale is, I don't know, man. It's really great. I can't say enough. But it's not just Hale. Like you see those Sedona Method seminars, and like you see some of the people who are there, and clearly they're interested enough to have been paying like thousands of dollars probably to travel there and to take this not inexpensive, or yeah, to take this not inexpensive fucking retreat, probably at a fairly expensive hotel where you get to like be in a room with like 25 people in Hale Dwoskin. It's like, oh, Matt, what is this, a cult of personality? It's really not. Like, Hale is just asking you the same questions that he then will have you ask other people. He's basically just telling you, like, this is the current understanding we have about, like, certain good ways to use releasing questions and explore spirituality and whatever. And it's just beautiful though, because you see all the people there, and like when someone gets on stage with Hale, like usually you can tell it's someone who, and they might say like, yeah, I've been doing Sedona Method for like fucking 8 years, or I've been releasing for a long time. And they'll just like, you know, they'll have such a depth of emotion, or, you know, they'll be so like, essentially they'll also be like very calm, very controlled. Like, it's just, I don't. It basically seems like just the realest people around, and all it is just, you know, basically asking yourself like, could I let go of this? Could I let go of that? You don't have to even put Sedona Method label on it. In fact, probably most of the time that I release, most of the time that I'm like letting go, I'm doing it without asking questions. And Hale says that. He says like, you know, you don't have to always be asking questions all the time or get into a lot of doing behavior. It's like it's nothing about like trying to, you know, get you into anything. It's just a really, really powerful and, you know, effective fucking way of just essentially dealing with your feelings. Which is a sort of funny way to end it, I suppose, but well, let's keep going with Resident Evil. And, you know, it makes me laugh that somebody would like consider me some kind of fucking villain or something. It's like, oh no, I sent somebody emails. It's like, yeah, you know what? I fucking get it. Like, if somebody was like alarmed, then great. I've said that stuff before on other videos. You can probably find them. But at the same time, it's like, come on, man. I'm the fucking villain here. I'm the villain, and planes are leaving chemtrails, and the government is taking money out of every check, which basically means you're a slave. They take the product of your labor and they forcefully do so. And in states like Rhode Island, they force you to buy health insurance, or rather, they give you a $700 penalty if not, unless you have some certain exemption or something. Like, that's a $700 penalty for not buying into an industry. What other industries could they do that with? And I'm not trying to be conspiratorial here, because to me, it doesn't matter if they do it with a single other one. I'm pointing to the one they already have. Like, it's ugly, it's repulsive, and I'm literally a conscientious, like, non-follower of the current medical system. And so I think I would qualify as a conscientious objector, but apparently that's not a thing anymore, at least not when they tell you have to have health insurance. Like, seriously, it's like getting car insurance for you. It's like, it's fucking repulsive. It's repulsive they make you buy car insurance. The fact they make you buy health insurance. But then I'm like a fucking villain because I sent some person like emails one day. Okay, great. Wow, here's your fucking villain, man. I'm talking about fucking letting go emotionally. There's okay. Anyway, I don't know. I feel like I'm a fucking cliche right now. Actually, I feel like I'm like basically the fucking like, I don't know. This may come off as kind of suggestive in a way, like, oh Matt, what, you have a fucking big ego or something. But I feel like it's sort of like the kind of, I don't know. You know what? I'm not even sure what it is actually. Hate to come off like Russell Brand, though. You know what, actually, here's the thing. I really disliked Russell Brand as a kid. Like I disliked the news. I disliked, like, something about him. It was just, like, it was unpleasant. But it was unpleasant around Russell. But no, I never met him. Oh yeah, there's our old foe, our old nemesis, the botany book. So yes, I know we whatever. Russell Brand, I think he is funnier, but also I think he's he seems to me to have so many signs of being like just basically a paid for propagandist. I mean, serious. I'm not claiming that he is, but he has so many signs of just being like, I don't, or having been perhaps anyway fairly corrupted, or you know what, give him the benefit of the doubt, having gone along with corrupted things in his career. Because perhaps, you know what, perhaps it doesn't have to be like, you know, someone is quote unquote corrupted, but it seems like he has gone along with many corrupted things, like many propagandistic things. And you know what? I'm glad to look at it that way. Actually, that's probably a good way to put it with literally anybody, including like Hillary Clinton's. Like she's gone along with a lot of. It seems like she's gone along with a lot of evil shit, including her saying, "We came, we saw, he died," like and laughing, cackling in that witch way that she has. Yeah, Hillary Clinton said that in an interview, not in an email. She said other stuff in emails apparently, but Hillary Clinton said that in an interview. We came, we saw, he died. Ah, like it's like the Wicked Witch of the West. But at the same time, let's not call her evil. Let's say all the evil like things she's been involved in. How about that? Like that separates her from the actions, and I like that. Anyway, what are we doing here? So yeah, Russell Brand. I don't know. It seems like he may have gone rogue. Like who knows who goes rogue? It didn't seem to me like he quite went rogue because it still seemed like he had sort of the same. I don't know. Like basically, how polished something looks and how much money it looks to be is often some kind of revealer of how much money went into something, and potentially that reveals something else. So, like Russell Brand with his podcast, it's like, okay, yeah, Russell, like, yeah, you have this podcast and you're maybe talking about interesting things, and then somebody like hits you with some kind of like sex scandal or whatever it is. I don't even know. Who remembers? You know, whatever. And perhaps it was horrific. I don't know, but perhaps it was nothing. It's at this point, it's like it could have been like he raped 17 people, or it could have been like he was speeding and his girlfriend was like, you know what, you really shouldn't fucking speed, and he was like, you know what, tart, and she was like, you called me tart, this is a sex scandal. And you know what, he shouldn't call her tart. Like that's kind of a shitty thing to say because um I would say, you know, you should reserve your kind of like, especially if it's a gender specific language, like you should reserve it probably for specific situations. Like I'm not saying never call someone a cunt or something, but probably not always. Probably not a lot. Um, I'll give you a pro tip: don't give your girlfriend a nickname that has cunt in it, because that's funny. But that's also not, she doesn't like that. She did not like that. Oh no, I remember her actually kicking me in the shin and it really hurt. She like really just fucking kicked me. And she looked really cute when she did it too. I didn't think any less of her, but it did hurt. Like truly, like I think I don't know if I had a single negative emotion about it. Like yeah, it was kind of blinding pain, but I mean, I definitely, I like, you know, I was in love with her, so. But I did call her a name that had cunt in it, and it was hilarious. As like a fun nickname. Oh, God. But yeah, nevertheless, I also did, like, I don't know if I've ever loved anyone more. So there you go. And she could have kicked me in the shin every day. Oh. Yeah, sorry for sort of the uneventful stream. I guess it was sort of. I went into it thinking we're gonna really play, maybe. It, it'll be a good stream. Don't worry. I think it's been okay so far, but it's definitely been less gameplay. Yeah, I don't know though. Just doing. Yeah, in fact, never mind. I was gonna sort of have some cheeky reference. You can't carry more shit. I was gonna have some cheeky like, oh yeah, and it's sort of like semi kind of, semi like poking, semi mocking actually reference to somebody, somebody who seems very much compromised, but nevertheless. Oh shit! Wait, can I save? Yeah, here we go. Somebody who seems compromised. Good. We're actually pretty far along now. It's funny. Thank goodness, man, we made it. Um, Whatever. Anyway, no, you know what? This is, I don't know. This is what I'm feeling. And look, I'm not saying that because I have looked back at like stuff that I've made, and I'm like, you know what, like that's emotional in a way that might just might not be attractive, basically. But it's not like I'm under the illusion that, like, at least anymore. It's not like I'm under the illusion that like any amount of like sort of weepiness is going to be attractive. Like sometimes it can be off-putting. So I don't want it to be so weepy all the time. But when it's involving somebody who is like sort of top three of the biggest people in my life, like really, it's probably like parents, and then, or even like one parent and then like someone else maybe, and then her, and then like maybe the other parent, like number five. It's like and yeah, and it's not even like that was definitely a situation that I played a gigantic role gigantic role in fucking up, like absolutely. In no way am I saying like, oh, be, oh, bad, he's just the girl, she left him, and she, I mean, yeah, she played a part. She definitely played some role, but not, perhaps really not as big. In fact, I would say undeniably not as big as my role. She played a relatively small role, actually, let's say. So there you go. Yeah, she played a relatively small role, and I played a gigantic role. But, and I don't, that may come off as kind of glib, but or whatever. I looked up the meaning of glib actually, because somebody referred to one of my coworkers at one of the jobs that I had as glib. And like, I've heard glib many times, and like looking, like thinking of him even just now, it's like, yeah, he looks a little glib, but at the same time it's like, but what does that actually mean? And I looked it up, and the definition seemed kind of unwieldy and almost impenetrable. It was like a riddle. It's like it's like I think I read it multiple times, and I wasn't sort of getting it. It's like, oh shit. Matt, you have an English degree? I do, and I've read more than 100 books. Let me look around this room at the books I think I've read. I think I've read all of The Only Dance There Is by Ram Dass, maybe. Read a decent amount of the Broadview anthology poetry. Not nearly all of it, actually. Actually, I think I've read a decent amount, if not all, of Mindfulness in Plain English. Decent amount of Astral Dynamics, if not all. What is that book? Oh no, I've read a little of The Pale King. I've read Small Gods by Terry Pratchett. I may have read A New Earth. I may have just listened to the audiobook, but I've definitely read The Power of Now. I think I've read all of You Or That by Gangaji. If not all of it, I read like I I think like hundreds of pages of it. I read Genesis and Exodus in the Bible. At the beginning of the next chapter, it was just literally going through like lists of like basically Exodus breaks down into like I don't want to say necessarily breaks down, but a lot of Exodus is giving very specific parameters for setting up temples. Like literally, it's like, and it's very repetitive too. It's like this temple shall be set up with 12 candelabras, eight. It's almost like the 12 Days of Christmas song, but it's like it's just not fun. And like many of the words, like you kind of feel like you want to look up because you just don't know what it means. It's like 7 arps and 12 trestles, and it's like, well, I know the word. I kind of know the word trestle, but what exactly is a and then it's like, well, trestle is one of them. But like, I'd say probably like 20 or 30 pages are like mostly just literally 20 or 30 pages are mostly that. Or I don't know, maybe it's not even that much. But then like the next one, I think it was Leviticus, which Cannabis has a song called Genibus, and then Leviticus on Jacker. But Leviticus, I think it was the 3rd chapter in the Bible or 3rd book, and I did not continue reading, but I did read the first 2, and I read them in jail actually. So there you go. That's a fun fact. I did, but and you know I thought. I went into Leviticus strong, and then I was like, you know what? Oh my God, this is just like Exodus. This is just like Exodus. And Genesis was like, yeah, I've been sort of out of the reading loop, or have been, etc. But Genesis was no fucking slouch. You know, it's yeah. There was a fucking Catholic friar actually, I think, who once said in my presence, like. He's like, oh, if you try to read the Bible, he recommended reading a children's Bible actually. He's like, if you try to read the Bible, you'll throw it out the window. And it is funny because like I heard him say that, and I was like, yeah, well, you know, that you know, I'm sure it'd be okay. Like essentially, like I feel confident that I'd be able to do. I wouldn't throw it out like whatever. Yeah, I can think about shit and whatever. But the thing is, like, what I wasn't prepared for was Exodus with 12 feet in diameter shall be the trestle, and then 4 feet in diameter shall be the thentata, and then they repeat that for pages and pages, and like literally pages. You're just reading essentially similar to at the beginning of the New Testament where they give the lineage, and they say X begat Y, and they do a Simpsons joke. Later on The Simpsons they did about it, you know, not in any case, or whenever anything actually fucking happened, who knows? I don't know when anything fucking actually, who knows? To me, like the Bible, there's a slight possibility that the Bible is written like after that Simpsons episode, as far as I'm concerned, because I wouldn't have looked at it very much, you know. I'm not saying that seems very likely, but I'm saying, as far as I know, with all the fucking deception, it's like, especially with the Mandela Effect stuff. I have a personal Mandela Effect, actually. It was one of my favorite songs, Amy by Pure Prairie League. Amy, what you gonna do? There's a part at the end that I fairly fucking clearly remember, or for a while I very clearly remembered it, and then I went back and listened to the song. It's this little vocal flourish near the end, like, woohoo, woo, and like basically it seems like they cut like more than half of it off. And I was like, yeah, but this isn't the I want to hear the version that I love. I want to hear the version that I remember and I love. This sounds like a radio edit basically. And I kind of looked all over. Like I was fairly determined. And you know, like anyone who actually, I mean, look at my fucking videos. Anyone who actually has seen me, it's like you could probably say a lot of things about me. In fact, I had a friend in college who said, I'd say a lot of things about you, Matt, but I wouldn't say. What did he say? I don't know. Like I think he said I'd say a lot of things about you, but I wouldn't say that. Sort of like the fucking Meatloaf thing. But I think people might give me some leeway to say that I looked for that fucking song. I'm a determined I get fairly interested in things. It's like you're an autistic, Matt. I don't know. I've some people have floated that. In any case. That song, I looked all over, and no, Amy, what you gonna do? I think I could stay with you for a while, maybe longer if I do. It's a beautiful song. I love that song. I could cry listening to that song, but there's a part at the end where they do this little vocal flourish, and it's just if someone found it for me, I'd literally pay them $100. If you know the version that has the vocal flourish and you bring it to me, just remind me of this, and I hope I remember, and I will pay you 100. Otherwise, hopefully you downloaded it, and then you could show it to me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, hopefully. I'll be like, oh yeah. I mean, hopefully I'll remember. But if I do remember, then it's like I would fucking hope I'd pay you $100 on the spot. And if not, I'll put me on some layaway plans. Like, yeah, I'll pay you interest and stuff. But yeah, I like that song.